Good Friday morning. Here's Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. It is the 22nd of December. It is the last technical update before Christmas. And yesterday on the US market, we saw a little bit of a bounce after the heavy sell-off the day before. We are still in an uptrend. There's no divergence. I still believe we will see a move higher, possibly over the Christmas holidays. Well, it's not holiday in US on the 27th, 8th and 29th, and not here either. So let's see. And also into the new year, I believe we will see a positive market with a higher move, and at least that's what the indicators are telling me. There's still risk of a little bit of a bigger correction than what we have seen now. So look out for these levels here. If it does take out the lows here from the 20s at 46.97, well, then I think we will see a move down to 46.29, possibly down to around 4600. On Nasdaq, of course, also a nice bounce yesterday after this quick sale here the other day, and there is risk down to around 16,140, where we have some strong support. Again, there's no RSI divergence, indicating that we should see higher levels going into the rest of the year, possibly into the first week at least of January. That's what my indicators are telling me. The Eurostoxx 50 below the 45.23 support resistance levels. We can see we've been hovering around here, and I think we will see a little bit of a move down to 44.70 around that, where we have a little bit of support. Can we actually correct lower? I'm not so sure, but we have divergence on the RSI, which we didn't have on the S&P 500 Nasdaq, but here we have it on the Eurostoxx. So it looks a little bit heavy, and I think we will see a weaker market in next week when we come back after Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. DAX also hovering around here just below the minor support at 16,760. There's still room down to around 16,500 around these levels here, but we could also see a bigger sell-off after this move here. But if we start moving back above the high here, or peak, I would say 16,790, then we could see a push higher towards the 17,000 again. We can also see that on the German CFD/future, a little bit heavy here on the side, but still holding up nicely. But we should see a move down to around 16,500 just to get a little bit of energy for the last leg up. AX Amsterdam, heavier than the rest of the markets, to be honest, and 781 I think we could see being tested here shortly. That will be interesting. Will it break back below, or will it bounce off there at the moment? Other than that, there's no strong support onto around these levels, around 763, 760, around this level here. Again, there is divergence. I haven't indicated on, but there is divergence as this closes higher than the other one over there, but these RSI levels there are lower, so divergence there. The Belgian market bounced off its lower rising trend line, and I think we could bounce a little bit further towards the 3,700. I'm not quite so sure that we will see a move to 3,800, possibly in the beginning of the new year. But it will be key. Can it hold up above the 3,600? If it can't, then I think we will see a further selling down to around 3,500. On the CAC index, basically moving sideways, dancing sideways out of this rising trend here, possibly, but look out for 7,526. There's some support, as we can see here, and that's going to be crucial. If it does take it out, then we're looking at 7,400 support area. Finally, on the Swiss market, did test 11,068 yesterday, bouncing a little bit, but still not convincingly. But keep an eye on this low here from yesterday. If it does take that out, well, then we are looking at 11,960, 920, around this level here, where we'll see some support. Euro dollar is really having trouble breaking the 110. We are just a few cents above at the moment, but it is a strong resistance, as we can see. It's not very convincing, but if it can make it, well, then we're looking at 111.30, which is the 138 projection of this correction here, but there could be potential up to around 112, which is the 161.8 projection. So it's really struggling, but indication of the bullish move to occur is there, because we have RSI above 60, meaning it is in a bullish sentiment. Cable, a little bit sideways here. It needs to break above 128. It's struggling at 127.35 at the moment, but 128, if it can take that one out, then we are looking at 129, possibly higher, but it's really a struggle. However, we can see all the moving averages, they are more or less all rising. So if we could also get RSI back above 60 and back above the falling trend line here, then it will be a good indication that the cable will move higher. Dollar yen to the heavy side after being sold off yesterday, back below the 200 moving average. And next key support is 141.70, where it dipped below, but it didn't close below. If we can get a close below, we could see a further selling down to around 138. And also, if we see the RSI, you can see here it is in a negative sentiment, and there's no divergence, meaning that this low here is lower than this low. That corresponds nicely with also lower here. So if we see a move lower, then we are looking at 138 in coming weeks. So yen is really has turned around. Euro yen got rejected just below the 100 moving, only correcting 50% of this sell-off here, and it could slide lower, but I'll say it's more or less range bound between 155 and 158, and I think that will be the scenario in the coming week or two. Aussie yen, that actually did look strongest of the yen pairs, reached the 786 retracement at 97.5, being rejected. Now in the cloud here, we still have RSI in negative sentiment, so we could slide back. If it does start sliding back below 96.10, well, then we could see it sliding further low. So that was actually a false break of the cloud area. But let's see about that. I mean, we're still in the cloud and above the cloud technically until we actually break back below. But look out for the 96.10. Also sterling yen. If I can make an update, there we are. Sterling yen to the heavy side after being rejected just below the 184.32 resistance. Little bit on the heavy, but also I think we will see it being range bound between 180 and 183.84. So a little bit indecisive in a big range there. The dollar index took out yesterday 101.62 support and is on its way to the 786 retracement at 100.90, possibly also testing the 100.78 stronger support. The RSI is indicating that. Gold has so far retraced 50% of the sell-off since the all-time high peak here. Struggling a little bit. We need to get the RSI back above 60. As we speak, it is actually above. You can see here 60.32. If we can close above, well, then we are looking at 2070-78 level. I think we will get there. We are still in a bullish sentiment. I would like to see it closing back above, and we could also see a move higher. All in all, we should see a higher close than this over here, which was the 2072 was actually the highest close, despite this spike up here where it then collapsed. No RSI divergence. We should see gold higher. Silver has almost retraced 61.8 of the sell-off here at 24.62. I think we will reach that, and then we will if we close in that region, then we will have the RSI back above 60, meaning we could see silver moving back towards the 26, possibly higher in the new year. If we start sliding lower again here between the 23.60 area, then we could be caught range bound down here. Copper has had a really strong move past couple of weeks, back to just below the 400, 395, spiking around that. We are still in a bullish sentiment, but it's really struggling for further upside momentum. But there should be room up to 400. And if we look at the bigger picture here on the weekly, we can see why we have the 100 moving average coming down. That is giving some resistance. But I think if we can move back above, move above 400, and we can get the weekly RSI above 60, well, then there are potential to 420, possibly higher. Also, I want to touch upon another one. This is platinum. Slowly crawling higher day by day, and I think we'll see a move towards 990, 1000 here in the coming weeks. And you can also see here why it is so important. Then we'll be back above the 200 moving average on the weekly, 55, and we're already above on 100, and we can get a weekly RSI. I think platinum is very interesting for the year. On the energy side, we have Brent crude also trying to break this upper falling trend line here and above the 61.8 retracement around $80. We'll see a move to $82. So the key question is, will RSI also close above 60? WTI broken the falling trend line more or less, with dancing sideways out of it, testing the 61.8 at $75. I think we will see a move towards the 77, potentially up to 78. Finally, on the US 10-year Treasury yields, you see here it touched the 383 support yesterday, bouncing a little bit, and I think it's about to exhaust really, and I think we will see a rebound towards the 4% and the 200 moving average here in going into next week and into the early January. All right, that's all for today. May you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And have a nice weekend. I'll talk to you again. Possibly next Friday. I will be away until the 29th of December, where I'll do the last update of the year. Thank you very much.